Welcome to day 4 of our fire resistant seminar. Thank you for being with us. I'm Andrew Goodwin with AGD. Today we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart as an architect, and that is material. Material construction is very important in the 2025 WUI Code. Whether you're building new or upgrading your existing facilities, you need to understand that there are some top tips to what to use on the exterior of your building so that you can meet your fire resistance requirements. This is very important too to understand because some people lean towards just a fire resistant material or Class A material without investigating some other options that might be more sustainable in a fire resistant assembly. Now let me make it clear. There is a fire resistant material option. There's also a fire-resistant assembly option of multiple pieces of material. So let's talk about siding. Siding is going to be the most important thing we talk about today, and then I'll give you a worksheet later. But siding in general has a lot of different options, but for the most part, top tips and things to choose. First thing would be fiber cement or some kind of fiber reinforced material. Products like James Hardie typically have a fire rating, but I want you to remember that mineral board cladding also could have some kind of recycled cellulose material as long as it classifies as a Class A material. So fiber cement material is a huge component to the fire resistance that you would want on your exterior. Also, think about metals. Any kind of recycled metals, recycled aluminum, so that you're thinking about sustainability at the same time, but metals are also non-combustible. There's also treated woods, and I know that many of us love the exterior with wood on it. Treated woods, or sometimes a fire-resistant wood, are great options for the exterior of your home. But if you don't want to do that, or if it's too expensive, you can also make it part of an assembly by putting a fire-resistant backer behind it before it gets to the structure of your building. Other materials that are really interesting that I highly encourage you to think about include stuccos or adobes. If it's an inch thick or so, you have an inherent fire resistance of stucco. You can use compressed earth blocks. You can use rammed earth. You can also use concrete, but concrete typically has a little bit more embodied carbon in it, which makes it less sustainable. So look at additives that make it more sustainable and less carbon intensive. So when we think about the exterior of our buildings, we also must consider decks and balconies to have non-combustible composite materials that are fire rated. Heavy timber is fire rated inherently, but remember that there are always going to be little connections of wood on those decks and balconies that are not fire rated. So be careful about how you construct your decks and your balconies. All exposed materials on eaves, fascias, soffits, those must meet performance standards for Class A fire ratings. You have to look into this because it is a very important aspect of the envelope. Today's PDF that we're going to include in this email has a quick reference guide to some of the compliant materials so you know what's allowed and what's not. Remember that choosing the right material is one of the most effective ways to harden your building and to make it survivable in the case of a wildfire. Tomorrow, we'll talk about how to eliminate embers entering through your vents and your attics and your crawl spaces. Until then, good luck.